Good morning, afternoon, and evening, you lovely ninjas. Today we have WIZ Protocol in the house with Chaos Chris speaking. Just so you guys are aware, we do have a question period towards the end. You can always DM the anonymous question bot in chat if you're not a comfortable public speaker. And you can do that at any time during the AMA. We'll see the question and we'll read it out. And again, towards the end, we have a 15-20 minute window where the community can ask questions, as well as some fun prizes and so on towards the end. So yeah, Chris, welcome.
Hey, thanks for having me. I just want to say thank you so much for having us on the channel. I'm really excited to talk about our project today and also get to know some of you guys within your community.
Sounds wonderful. So, I mean, normally we like to get a little bit of a start out with the, just getting to know the team a little bit. So maybe we just start off. You can tell us a bit about yourself, your experience in crypto, your team, and we'll move on from there.
Okay, guys. Well, just starting off, my name's Chris Four, and I'm a core community team member, and I'm also the lead for social media and communication for WIZ and Hocus Pocus. I also run the WIZ Crypto YouTube channel with my best friend, Trent. I have experience in coastal engineering and some minor experience in software programming, and I have been involved with cryptocurrency for approximately 2.5 years. I work on the front end for the social media marketing and produce content for the Hocus Pocus School, where we talk about videos about the WIZ and the Hocus Pocus project. We also do cryptocurrency education on, how to execute a swap, how to set up a MetaMask wallet and whatnot. And so today I'm also joined with other members of our team. Our other two members are Nick and Robin. Nick is a lead developer of WIZ and Hocus Pocus. He works on the back end of the project. He mainly focuses on software development, project management, and technical communication behind each project. And then we also have Robin, who leads the community on Telegram with the other moderators, and he is involved on the marketing of both WIZ and Hocus Pocus. And essentially, we're all here to talk about WIZ today, and also talk about its impact on the entire cryptocurrency space.
Awesome. Yeah, it's you've got some big brain stuff going on in the project. There's I went over a lot of your material. You've got some interesting tokenomics. You've got this big supply, and you've got a 4 decimal system. So I'm excited to hear how all of this works. You guys are working as well, with the PulseChain side of things. So yeah, why don't you give us the intro and the breakdown of how your systems operate, and we'll take off from there.
Awesome. So just to kind of start off, what is WIZ? So WIZ is a decentralized finance protocol that includes some great components of the meme space and the DeFi space. This past 2020 bull market, the one thing we saw was meme coins went absolutely bananas. We saw different projects appreciate extremely quickly, and we saw a lot of hype behind it. And we also saw some really great decentralized finance projects as well. So essentially what WIZ does is it takes both of these aspects, combines it together, and it has a hidden utility that's never been used before in the cryptocurrency space. It's going to be used as an onboarding token for the entire PulseChain ecosystem. And for those guys who don't know, PulseChain is a new layer 1 blockchain that will be launching sometime in the bear market. It's a fork of the entire Ethereum blockchain. I encourage everyone to check out the project. It's really cool. So essentially how WIZ functions is if you purchase the token, you basically hold this token, and there's a series of fees behind the token. There's a buy and a sell fee. When you buy the token, you have to there's a 4% fee where 3% goes straight to a treasury and 1% goes straight to a marketing wallet. When you sell the token, there's an 8% fee. 3% goes to a treasury wallet, 2% to the liquidity pool, and 2.5% is reflected back to token holders, and 0.5% of that token is burned. So essentially, you get to hold this token, and you'll earn passive income from 2 different streams. And the 2 streams are from the treasury wallet and the reflection. And essentially, the reflection is where, you hold the token, someone sells, and it's distributed to all the token holders. And then for the treasury fee, a percentage of the tokens sent to a treasury wallet where the DAO that's going to be formed behind the WIZ project gets to decide on investments and how those tokens are going to be paid out. And so ultimately, our main goal of the WIZ token is to create this really cool investment treasury, a great community that runs the project, and to become as decentralized as possible. Now, one thing I like to mention is that how does it function as a onboarding project for WIZ? I mean, for PulseChain. So essentially, if you own the WIZ token, you will be earning rewards on the PulseChain ecosystem, and these rewards are going to be sent to your MetaMask wallet address or whatever wallet you use, and you have to go over to the PulseChain blockchain to interact and use those rewards, whether you want to buy or sell them or send them to somewhere else. And by interacting with the PulseChain ecosystem, there's a high percent chance that that user will stay on the PulseChain, and it's a great way to bring new users into a new developing ecosystem.
Okay, so you've got this kind of set up as a way that people from the Ethereum side are far more likely to join and interact with PulseChain, and even incentivize them to do so. Essentially, is okay.
Yeah,
and for people that don't know, I believe that PulseChain is a Richard Hart thing. It's next level hexagon, I guess. I'm not 100% versed on the PulseChain. But from what I read, that's what's going on there. When is that aspect of things going to be live?
So the PulseChain, there hasn't been a set date announced for when this project will be launched, but as of right now, it's expected to be coming either sometime between Q1 and Q3 of this year. I'm not really sure. That's just complete speculation, but it should be sometime this year.
Okay. And so, yeah, from what I read in your materials, and I've listened to all your YouTube videos and everything else, which, by the way, is really cool. I like how you've got your learning center. That's not what you've branded it, but your YouTube channel is quite informative. I hope you continue on with that stuff. It's really helpful. So you have some features in here, and actually, I want to carry on with where we were before with the treasury wallet. So you've got the treasury wallet fills up from transactions done on the Ethereum side, and then people who migrate or utilize your systems on the Pulse side are the ones who are most likely to benefit from that. Is that how that operates? And you're going to combine that with a DAO to have community input as to how those rewards are paid out. Do I understand that correct?
So how the treasury rewards will function is you have to hold the WIZ token on the Ethereum side, and in that wallet address, the rewards can be sent to you on the PulseChain side. So essentially, the idea is if you just hold that token, you'll get your rewards on the PulseChain. That's the game theory behind the WIZ token.
Okay, that's cool. So you have this really large supply, and a 4 decimal system is quite intriguing. Can you and then as well, each transaction on the east side will burn 0.5%, if I'm correct. Can you just pull us through those tokenomics a little bit with the 4 decimal system, the reason for it? I believe it has to do with like a multi-call swap, but I'll let you explain.
So the decimal system, I'll say it's broken down in a technical and non-technical side. And so from the non-technical side, typically when you have so many decimal points, it really incentivizes the community to interact and continue to buy up the token. So there's a little bit of a market psychology behind it. And this is something we've seen with other meme tokens like Shiba Inu and all these other cryptocurrency projects. And I don't want to give any more examples because I'm not trying to shill. But regardless, the idea is it drives market psychology. And if you see a token that has a very small market price, retail traders are more likely to buy it. On the technical side, I have to be honest, I'm not really too well versed on the decimal system. Now, just getting into the tokenomics and just breaking that down a little bit, WIZ is going to be a deflationary token. And so essentially every cell, you're going to have a percentage of that token being burnt. On top of that, on every sell, you're going to have a percentage, 2%, sent to a liquidity pool where it's going to be locked up, and that liquidity cannot be accessed. So there's no admin keys behind there or whatnot. So the idea is we're going to have these deflationary measures on the WIZ token so that the supply will decrease and possibly cause a shock, which can cause the price to go up, and also put a positive price pressure of the token into the future.
Okay, so the percentage that gets burned, is that coded as a percentage of the starting total supply, or as you guys are deflating, is that 0.5% of the current supply? Like, is it going to get bigger and bigger as things go, or does it stay at? You've got a 1 with a billion zeros. I think it might be a quadrillion. I ran out of fingers, but I'm just wondering if that burn, 5%, 0.5% of each sell order will be burned. Thank you, Robin. Okay, that answers my question. Great. All right. So you've got some other features in here with proof of post. You have. Actually, one of my notes is that you have a nice chart. You guys have been live for a month. Your chart looks really, really good. So I guess that my next question would be, what is the function of Hocus Pocus on the Pulse side?
So essentially, Hocus Pocus, it is a meme coin, and it's also a decentralized finance project. And it's going to have a series of fees on the buy and the sells. And it's going to be very similar to adding funds to the treasury fund, and then there's going to be a reflection, and then there's going to be a burning mechanism behind it, except it's going to be mainly on the Pulse chain. Now, right now with Hocus Pocus, we're actually going to be adjusting some of the tokenomics behind the project because since the WIZ launch, we've actually learned a little bit about the new WIZ project, and there's some things that we want to change for Hocus Pocus so that it's its own separate project that can strive on the Pulse chain. So essentially, to answer your question, Hocus Pocus, it's mainly going to be on the Pulse chain, and it's going to build up a treasury fund that can be used to invest in Pulse chain projects or anything that the DAO approves.
So you're going to, okay, so you could potentially be in a situation where your community votes to utilize some of those funds to invest in other Pulse projects, kind of like a hedge fund or something along those lines. Okay, that's fun. Are there any legal issues with that?
So legal issues. Now, as of right now, it depends on what country and what state you are. I live in the United States, so each state is very different on when it comes to cryptocurrency regulation. The main concern that we're seeing right now with different projects, like for example, like XRP and like Ethereum, is the concern over the ICO and whether or not that signifies a security. So in that retrogard, I think we're going to be okay because we actually did a ghost launch and we didn't have an ICO, so we would not be qualified. But on the investment side, we wouldn't see any other legal issues on that side as well. It just all depends on how you report your taxes and when you convert over to fiat currency. So that's essentially what I wanted to say for the legal side.
Okay, so you guys had, where did your funding come from? I mean, I noticed that there's no ownership in this project. You say you didn't have a sale, but you did provide a nice liquidity pool. So how are you funding?
So from the initial startup, our team basically what we did was we had funds put into a liquidity pool, and the liquidity pool is going to be locked for a year. And then after that year, 2% of that liquidity pool is going to be released every single month. And then we have the option to extend that for 6 months. So the initial startup funds was actually raised by the money from the team.
Okay, and so how do you guys? What's your structure for team pay? Do you guys have team tokens broke out? And if so, what percentages are they vested and all that kind of stuff?
So how team pay is going to work is we have a 1% fee on the buy fees that goes straight to a marketing wallet. And that's going to be contributed to marketing behind the project. And it's also going to be used to pay Telegram moderators, developers, and anyone that's promoting the project on social media. So that's essentially where the team pay comes from.
Okay, and that's the I guess the promoting on social media ties into your proof of post systems.
So so when it comes to proof of post, this is just this is a little this is a really cool aspect of the project that we recently just started up. So for those of you guys who are not familiar with PulseChain, the founder of Hex was Richard Hart, and right before he launched PulseChain and PulseX, he actually had a sacrifice phase where you can send your crypto to a wallet address with no expectation of the work of others. In return, you get a point system, and then you get airdropped free PulseChain and PulseX tokens. Now, a lot of other projects that are launching on PulseChain are using the same exact system, and they're doing a sacrifice phase, and they're using it as a way as like kind of like a pre-sale. Now, we here on Hocus Pocus and WIZ, we wanted to go a different route. We want to do something a little bit more innovative besides doing a sacrifice. So we use something called proof of post, where you can sacrifice time in return to get free cryptocurrency. Now, what you do is you take the WIZ cash tag, you put it onto your social media handles, you put it onto a post, and you can register it on the website under the proof of post tab. And once you do that, you will be eligible to receive a free airdrop of WIZ tokens. And the idea behind that is you're going to be sacrificing for time, since time is probably your most valuable asset and something that you can't get back. And so the idea is we're using this as a phenomenal marketing effort to grow the community and to onboard as many people as possible.
Okay, I really like that. The first thing that comes to mind with that, I mean, I like viral approaches and I like community push approaches. What's to stop me from opening 500 accounts on Twitter and botting all day? Do you have checks in place to make sure that people don't abuse that system?
So we've actually ran into that issue on the first proof of post, which is part of our ongoing process of really learning about this token launch and really adjusting things. So when it comes to that aspect, and you go onto the register tab for the proof of post, you'll have your social media handle and your wallet registered. And then we go through and check the social media wallet to make sure you have people following you, if it's legit. If it's just a random one that says 0, maybe like 1 follower and 0 people following, then we'll disregard that, entry into the proof of post.
Right, and it's not worth, it would never be worth my effort to make a bunch of botted Twitter accounts and the wallets and register. So okay, I can see it. No, I really actually like the approach of that. It's a good way to viral things up. So you guys have, what's your max wallet there? I think it's 3%. And you guys have your taxes, are they hard coded? Is there a limitation to what you can set on them?
The code is going to be immutable, so the fees are going to be hard coded and can't be changed.
Yeah, you're right. Yep, you're right. So on that note, if you guys ever get into any trouble, I guess it would just be an LP migration and a relaunch if your contract had any issues. Have you had it all audited and all that good stuff?
Yes, we've been audited by Surtech, and so far contract's been doing good, and we've seen a healthy price of token this past couple months. So it's been doing really, really well.
And I think it has. As I say, it's I think you guys launched about a month ago, and boy, that's healthy looking in this market, man. That's very nice. So good for you. So you guys have some LP provision options. I noticed somewhere, where is it? Right here. Oh, I had that open. I must have switched to another chain. Don't look at my crappy shit wallet. Yeah, so you've got some LP provision options here. I hope you're screaming from the rooftops about impermanent loss. I did see some mention of it in the white paper. Often new farmers don't understand what they're getting into. So your education section should highlight that, I believe. But what are the, I mean, aside from, I understand how LP works. A lot of people don't. And so the challenge you have, of course, is educating them as well as dealing with them, because when you go down, they're sad, and when you go up, they can be sad. So what's the incentivization for me as a user to provide my own liquidity to this project, aside from holding LP and potential gains or the risk of losses?
So to start off, we developed a front end for being a liquidity provider on our website. And this is one thing I really want to do a video on. But the reason why we did that was because Uniswap actually charges a fee when you provide liquidity on their DEX. And so we create our own to bypass that fee to save you a little bit on your crypto bag. Now, getting into being a liquidity provider, a lot of that's going to go into how the rewards are paid out. So essentially, if you're a liquidity provider, then you're going to get more rewards paid out to you rather than holding the token by itself. So essentially, you're going to get a little bit more of a bigger bag from the treasury wallet, and that's our way of incentivizing retail traders to add liquidity. And we also want to really push them to go to our liquidity front end to avoid that fee.
Yeah, absolutely. You've got a swap as well, and if I understand correctly, part of the reason that your decimal system is set up the way it is to, I don't want to use the wrong words, is to kind of batch transactions in a way, or to lower your gas costs. And forgive me, I know that your dev can't be here to explain that, but I've struggled conceptually with it as well, because I don't code on it, So yeah, you've got a little swap option for your. Where are you here? Somewhere in here, right here. You got a little swap option here. And what's the benefit of using your swap over this? And can I add whichever tokens I would like to this?
So to start off, the benefit of using that swap function also goes into that there's also another fee on the Uniswap DEX as well. This fee is what they use to pay their development team and whatnot. So you actually save a little bit more on gas fees when you use this. And as for the tokens that you can use to swap, you can use Ethereum and USDC, and then you can also sell your WIZ tokens for Ethereum and USDC as well.
Okay. Right on. Pardon me. So the team making, I'm still not 100% clear on how the team makes money. Maybe I misunderstood what you were saying. I see there's a couple of wallets with max bags, but it's a reasonable amount compared to liquidity. So I assume that your 5 and 6 wallets are part of the team, because they hold about $20,000 at current market value, which again, your rating for how much a wallet can own is reasonable. But so you're gonna generate fees from your swap. You're gonna generate 1% that you said goes into a marketing wallet, and that doesn't really put money in your pocket if you're using that for marketing. And I'm not shading down on you. I love that you guys provided your liquidity yourselves, and it looks like you're trying to set this up to be a very trustworthy platform, and that you can't really mess with the contract or anything because it's immutable, which has its dangers as well, but is also attractive in its own ways. So I still wonder where big money is going to come from other than team's personal holdings, or is this just one of those projects where the team has to buy their share and put the work in to see the market grow?
So It's going to be option number 2. He said the team buys in and put in the work to see the market grow. The one thing that we're extremely concerned about designating tokens through the token supply to specific team members is that we've seen in the past that when they dump, the price absolutely collapses and causes mayhem. So the idea behind how the team earns is they buy in, and then we continue to promote and build the project up. And the idea is we're trying to push this project to a decentralized future so that the project's driven by a community rather than a development team. So that's kind of like our ultimate goal. And I can go through some examples of where projects that have had huge team designations was like SafeMoon. We saw a huge price decline that absolutely collapsed, and they also had keys to their liquidity pool as well. So we're trying to approach this from the clear and transparent side so that we can grow the community, which will in turn grow the token price over time. Well, at least what we hope, not financial advice. So
classic.
Yeah.
Classic. Right on. It's being recorded. You have to say it. So you've got your on-chain wizard here, dashboard, treasury board. It's well laid out. It really is. Your purple paper though. I have to say, it's got a lot of data in it. I do struggle a little bit with how the text is laid out. It's not always clear to me. I had a much better time gaining understanding from your systems, from your Medium article. I'm not going to point out anything specific, but just to let you know that, I got a certain ways in and it started to get a little bit weighty to absorb.
Right.
So I recommend to people, if you don't have the huge coding technical background, go to their YouTube. Your YouTube is wonderfully set up. I really hope you continue doing that sort of stuff. So basically what I'm seeing is that we've got the ETH side that is kind of an onboarding portal for Hocus Pocus on the PRC20 side. And then the PRC20 side is going to have rewards that come over from the Ethereum side. And then you're kind of going for a meme kind of fun magic situation on the Pulse side. So when it comes to and it's interesting because you've got this kind of utility onboarding feature, and then you've got on a new chain, which people find attractive, kind of fun memey sort of stuff. So can you take me through the kind of meme fun that we're going to have on the Pulse side?
So just get into like kind of the meme fund. Well, it can be a variety of things, but the idea is, and the thought behind why we call it WIZ or Hocus Pocus is because when you get into cryptocurrency, the first thing you learn is money isn't real, money's imaginary, it's magic internet money. And you can tell if you're in economics, you want to get into like the Federal Reserve and all that stuff. But regardless, when you say what is DeFi, we think it's Hocus Pocus. Now, with this wizard theme with the WIZ, or the Hocus Pocus theme with the wizard side of things, it's pretty cool because growing up, I watched a lot of stuff with like wizard themed movies, Harry Potter and whatnot, and it can really catch on to different communities, especially when you're trying to create memes with wizards, or you got a catchy name like Hocus Pocus or WIZ, which is the first 3 letters in the word wizard that can easily be trending on a social media platform like Twitter. So the idea is, as our community continues to grow and more and more people jump in, there's a good chance that they might be making awesome memes that have this same exact theme that can go across all the social media platforms and spread like a wildfire, kind of like we saw with Elon Musk and Dogecoin.
Okay, and I do like the theme. I'm an old sci-fi fantasy guy, and you've got a ton of material to draw on. I mean, how many versions of you know, the round table have there been, right? How many different Merlins and Gandalfs are out there? And so you've got a lot of material to draw from, and it's catchy. So I like that. And you know, it's we see a lot of meme projects come along that don't have any big brain stuff behind them, and you guys do. And I, you know, I have to be perfectly honest with the decimal stuff. I struggle with understanding, but that's my failing, not yours. It's unfortunate your dev's not here to break that down for us. But say, Levi, maybe he can pop in and just give us like the kind of the Coles notes later on how that functions and so on, so that people truly understand it. Because I'm intrigued by it. You know, with the large supply and then the smaller decimal, and then it burning down over time through, you know, transactions on cells. It's intriguing. I'd like to see kind of how he intends that all to play out in the long run, you know?
So our dev is actually raising his hand right now. It's actually Nick
perfect.
right there. So you can actually answer that question right now.
Let's go. Nick, welcome. You're unmuted.
Hey guys, what's up?
How you doing?
Yeah, I'm fine.
You gotta take me through the tokenomics here like I'm in grade 3 and I'm learning my ABCs.
So basically, with Solidity and on Ethereum, most of the tokens have 18 decimals placed. But because of the larger supply, yeah, we only need 4. Just to make it clear, on the dashboards, in your MetaMask wallets, with a large supply, you don't need a lot of decimals. It's not needed. And also, our calculation is so accurate that we don't need the 18 decimals in place. So, and with the burning rate of 0.5%, so at the time of deployment, we had 100 billion deployed. And with every sell order, it will be sent half percent to the dead wallet, the burning address.
Okay. And so was it I mean, I get what you're saying. Was there also motivations from a fee or contract interaction perspective?
No, just to make it clear,
Okay.
on the dashboard, but also on your wallet. Most of the contracts, and also especially in DeFi or in the meme coin space, they copy each other contracts. We build everything up from the ground, so everything from scratch. Also, even the reflection tokens, most of the tokens, they have keys, especially with reflections. So you can temporarily exclude several wallets. For example, the LP pair. And most of the protocols also hand over the rewards to the LP pair. If you shut them off, the memory of your contract will get overloaded. And also, your gas fee will get higher with every transaction. So we basically build our own reflection with an exclude of all the big wallets in our protocol. And yeah, and with the treasury, we send it with the buy and the sell order to a separate treasury wallet. And yeah, we started yesterday our first stake. So the cool thing with the rewards is that you earn reflections on the Ethereum side. And this time the DAO voted for a hex stake. This means that we started a hex stake on the Ethereum side. So you earn your hex rewards on the Ethereum side. But with the launch of PulseChain, you will also get a copy of your rewards on the PulseChain side. And when the 1 year hex stake is finished, then the DAO can vote again what we will do with our initial investments. And yeah, probably if you look at the chart of hex of the last 2 years, it will do some numbers. So it will also do something with our treasury. And yeah, we will see with the next vote. And yeah, hopefully we can start our second stake within a month. But it depends, of course, of the volume we will have.
Cool, man. So you know, you chose this route not only to have some original code, but to streamline transactions and to make viewing and following transactions more transparent.
Yeah, so that's basically the first place our code already doing it. If you look at the Etherscan, but a lot of people can't read the code, of course. So that's why I built a dashboard with another developer. So we make it as transparent as possible. But for the people who are a little bit familiar with Etherscan, you could also check at our write and our read functions. So for example, if you go to our contract on Etherscan, you see that we have 5 write functions. Normally, when you're interacting with a DeFi or a meme protocol, you see 20 to 25 functions. They call it DeFi. In my opinion, it's CeFi. It's a centralized finance because you can edit everything. With our protocol, you only have 5 functions, and 3 of them are standard Ethereum or Open Zeppelin function for our contract, and 2 of them we created by ourselves, and that's the add and the remove liquidity. And with the add and remove liquidity, you can bypass the fees who are in place in the protocol. So at this moment, we have a healthy liquidity. We also don't need any additional liquidity in our protocol. But the smart guys, some of them, they also provide liquidity. They see it as a kind of trading to bypass all the fees in the protocol. So the option is there. But there's also something like impermanent loss, and we wrote about it in our purple paper. We also have
I did see it. I did see it. It's good that it's there. I would just put it a little more front and center because I've been in farming projects before, and the hand holding and babysitting is a moderator's nightmare when it comes to impermanent loss.
yeah. I think we also included the calculator for impermanent
you did
loss.
in the dashboard. Yeah, that's actually really nice. You're right.
Yeah.
Sorry, I missed that. Yep. Very cool. Right on. I appreciate you. So when you guys get over to the Pulse side of thing, I mean, that presents a pretty good opportunity. I mean, if you guys are pairing and putting LP up for Hocus Pocus, as soon as Pulse goes live and Pulse does anything resembling what BNB does, your market cap will go ballistic on that alone.
I hope so.
I hope so. Not financial advice. That's where you say that.
So
right
PulseChain, we don't know when it will launch, of course. And Hocus Pocus is it's our protocol on the PulseChain side, so they work together. For example, the community could also vote to buy, for example, Pulse and Hocus Pocus, and that we use treasury funds to bridge over to the PulseChain side. So you can already earn some PLS and Hocus Pocus tokens before it goes live. So that's also one of the options to vote for. But this time the community voted for the hack stake, and it's also a reasonable thing to do because every ERC20 will be copied over to the PulseChain. It will be called PRC20. So also our holders who will interact with PulseChain. You can visit our Hocus Pocus School. We'll have tutorials about it, how to do it. They will probably see on the PulseChain side that they don't only have Hocus Pocus tokens, but probably also a copy of the Chainlink or from their Shiba Inu. They will all be copied over. So it's the biggest airdrop ever.
Okay, so worst case scenario, this is from a community member. Worst case scenario, PulseChain doesn't launch. It falls flat, something bad happens. Do you have a backup plan? Would you choose another chain and just kind of recreate there?
We're already running on the Ethereum. So, but
I'm talking about Hocus Pocus.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But I'm a strong believer in the PulseChain community. I also tested a lot on the several testnets as well. So at the start there were some issues, but there were minor issues, and with every release it gets better and better. and yeah, it will be released at some point.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
100% sure.
You know, community asked the question, and I asked it, and actually, I think it was a valid one.
Yeah,
But
of course.
I agree with you. I think that I think Pulse will absolutely go forward. There's been way too much work and investment for it not to. It'd be insane. So this is from our anonymous question bot. That's a community member here, and they're asking: are there potentials for the project and/or the investor to arbitrage between DEX prices and also between chains? I don't think DEX prices makes sense, but chains, yeah.
Yeah, change it could be. Yeah, it depends also, of course, on the PulseChain side. But for example, it's not only within our protocol, but over the full PulseChain and Ethereum ecosystem. When you interact with PulseChain after the launch, and you will find out that you have a Chainlink copy, you can pair up both of the ERC20 and the PRC20 within the bridge. So yeah, it's definitely sure.
Okay. Yeah, the bridge is not handled by you guys though.
Nope.
Okay. How does your DAO function? You know, you've already had a community vote. And this is, I'll ask this question every time I hear the word DAO. Do you have a veto option? What protects it from abuse?
We use snapshot.org. I think the bigger projects will also using Snapshot, and we can set up a vote, and it's based on the weight of the wallets.
It's based on the weight of the wallets. Okay, so
yeah.
All right. Yeah, I like it. The DAO stuff. It's always scary when whales have more vote than the smaller fish, but as long as you have a veto option and you can choose to disregard nonsense proposals that are weighted heavily in favor of whales, then I think you're safe. So right on. I appreciate that. Okay, so where are we at here? Do we have any more questions from the community right now? If anybody wants to raise their hands up, I'll happily unmute them and they can ask their question. You can always type in the anonymous question bot. You can just type in the chat if you like. And if not, I mean, there's another thing I did have a question about. You guys mentioned charity. How are you facilitating charity?
It was basically in our design of Hocus Pocus, so we don't have a charity on the WIZ side.
Okay.
We had it in our design. We still have it on the testnet, but yeah, we listen to our community. So the first design is already changing. So what we have seen is that most of the community members like the reflection. Some of them like the automatic liquidity and of course the burning. They really love the treasury, but nobody came forward for the charity. So
okay.
we asked our community a couple of times, what can we do with our charity? Because in our on the testnet we have 1% for charity at the buy side. And at this point, nobody comes forward. So yeah, we have to see what we will do with the charity.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. The reason that I asked that question is that it can be difficult. I've seen it multiple times for projects to donate to charity in the so-called real world with crypto, unless they're offloading and dealing with all the tax stuff, or coming from an LLC or a corporation. And so that's the reason I asked that. I love it when crypto goes out into the so-called real world and gives. I think it's we get so much bad press for crypto that I love seeing the good press. You know what I mean?
We have some other ideas with our charity, not one-time funding, but setting up a call and learn them how to use the funds. For example, staking, so they can generate their own money printer instead of a one-time donation. But yeah, it's still on the testnet, and if the community feels like, hey guys, we have to do the charity, then we can definitely do this, but we will do it in a different way.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have time, you know, because that's on the Hocus Pocus side. So
Yeah.
you guys are on testnet already with the Hocus Pocus. So I mean, you're well ahead of the game. You're just basically, you're going to get to a point where you're just like, come on, let's go.
Yeah, correct. We also have done 2 audits on the testnet already, one with Certic and one with Solidity Finance. It was very good for our learning process, of course. But sometimes it's also hard to do your audit upfront. But it's definitely worth.
Yeah, absolutely. Right on. So is there anything that you guys feel is really important for the community to understand about your project, besides that beautiful chart, that we haven't touched on here today?
Yeah, I think it's not the daily pump and dump protocol. It's more a long-term hodl. It's also a little bit of less man standing game. So how longer you hold, of course, you will earn your reflections, but basically also the treasury rewards on both chains. And hey, for example, now our hack stake, after a year, it will be probably more worth, and we will reinvest it as well. But in the meantime, a lot of people will trade or sell it, and your bag will grow over time because of the reflection, of course. So you will get a bigger share also within the treasury. And our main goal is it's not in the price appreciation in our token. Of course, it's nice. I think from the start to now, we did I think 40x or something, but that's not where it's all about. It's all about the treasury. Not now, but probably in the future. So when you hold the token, yeah, there are winners everywhere. So if you sell, yeah, of course, you can earn some money from the trading side. But if you hold, you earn more reflection, so also a bigger share in the treasury rewards on both chains.
Yeah, yeah, I like this, man. I think it's interesting. It's a neat mix of utility and meme and chains. Cool stuff.
Thank you.
All right. So on that note, oh, was my video paused? I was just screen sharing. I'm sorry. I was showing off your chart and stuff while you were talking, and I didn't know that I was blurred out there. So my apologies here. Look at that. That's not, you know, these guys are a month old. It's pretty good. All right. So on that note, do we have any questions from the community right now? Raise your hand if so. That's a good sign. There's no vultures circling you. That's positive. When Moon, Agro wants to know when Moon. He's one of the tougher ones around here. So yeah, you've done well, sir. Sirs. Yeah, ask now or hold your silence forever. All right. Yeah, so guys, it's been an honor. I've enjoyed myself. We do have some little prizes and hang out afterwards, and we just kind of freeform chat. I'll give you one last chance for a call to action, or to add anything to the conversation that I may have missed. I have to admit that, you know, I've researched a lot of projects in my time, and I did stumble a little bit with the white paper. Its text is really weighty. However, you absolutely make up for it with the YouTube channel. It's really, that's smart. I like how you're doing that. Your Medium article is probably the easiest read for people if you want to just get a quick synopsis of how the system operates. But again, I would do some rewording on that white paper and give some paragraph breaks and things, because I'm an avid reader, and there were moments when I was going through that I kind of bogged down a little bit, if you know what I mean. I just had a little bit of issue assimilating the information. So yeah, I've enjoyed our AMA, and again, the floor is yours for a final call out.
Thank you for your feedback. Yeah, maybe it's good to mention that tomorrow we'll have the WIZ quiz. It's in our Telegram channel, and it's more an extension of our Hocus Pocus School. So we will do a small quiz where you can earn some WIZ tokens, and it's also for the learning process. about the WIZ protocol, of course, but also about PulseChain and Hex. So yeah, please come check it out and join our TM. Chris, do you have something to add?
Yeah, so just to kind of just follow up on that, I want to say thank you so much for having us and giving us the opportunity to talk about WIZ. And the one thing I really want to emphasize when it comes to these cryptocurrency projects is you're looking for something that has like what I call the special sauce, or something that's different from the rest of the projects. And what WIZ is doing is it's not only bringing in like a new type of programming, a new project, a new development project, but essentially it's building the foundation for decentralized finance ETFs and investment funds that are badly needed within the cryptocurrency space. And we're excited to be one of the projects to be on the forefront of this new industry in cryptocurrency. So that's it. And I want to say thank you guys so much for having us.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Good outro. So on that note, I'm going to end the recording now, and we will move into the giveaways and hanging out and so on. So thank you so much, WIZ Protocol.
Thank you.